The call came at 11:47 a.m. I remember the exact time because I was cutting into a cold apple. My knife slipped, bit too hard on the skin. The blade kissed bone. Then the phone rang. "Mr. Vance, your daughter collapsed at preschool. You need to come now." The voice was clinical, no emotion, just urgency, like someone reading a line off a script. I didn't ask questions, just left the apple bleeding on the counter and drove like my pulse was a metronome, counting down to something I couldn't name. When I got there, 2 police cars were already parked outside, lights flashing but silent. A female officer approached me, her face too still. "Mr. Vance," she said, "you should peek inside quietly." She didn't explain. She didn't need to. I walked to the glass door. My hand reached for the handle but stopped, just inches away. I looked inside, and I forgot how to breathe. She was alive, on the floor, surrounded by teachers and paramedics. Her small body still, but breathing. They said it was a seizure, unexplained. I watched, frozen, as they loaded her into the ambulance. I should have felt relief, grief, something. Instead, I looked at her teacher, Miss Dale. She avoided my eyes. And then I saw him. Standing behind her, hands clenched, pale. Nathan, my wife's friend from work. His presence wasn't an accident. He shouldn't have been there. I remember the way he touched her shoulder once, the way she laughed too loudly, how the laughter died the moment she saw me watching. I thought maybe I was imagining things, until now. Now he stood outside my daughter's preschool, pretending to be concerned, pretending to be family. And for the first time, I realized he wasn't pretending. I didn't say a word to Nathan that day, just followed the ambulance, sat beside my wife as she cried. She didn't ask how I knew to come. She didn't ask what I saw. I watched her, noticed how tightly she gripped her phone, how her screen lit up with his name when she wasn't looking. I took it while she slept in the hospital chair. I copied everything. Messages, photos, voicemails. I sent a strand of my daughter's hair to a private lab the next morning. "No, Mr. Vance," the technician said, "your name won't appear in any reports. We're discreet." Days passed. My daughter recovered. They called it stress-induced. From what? No one could explain. My wife kept asking what was wrong. I smiled, said I was tired. And every night, while she slept beside me, I read their messages. I listened to the lies, the soft moans, the "I love yous" that weren't mine to hear, and I waited. The envelope arrived 5 days later. No sender, just my name. Sharp letters, black ink. I opened it in my office. Inside, a single sheet of paper, DNA results. One column with my name, the other, hers, my daughter's. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. I didn't cry, didn't scream. I stared at the paper until the letters blurred, until I couldn't tell the difference between truth and betrayal. Then I folded it. Once, twice, tucked it into my jacket. That evening she came home late, said work was exhausting. I nodded, poured her a glass of wine, watched her drink it. Then I placed the folded paper on the table. She didn't touch it at first, just stared. Then unfolded it slowly. Her hand trembled, lips parted. She looked up, eyes wide. "I can explain," she whispered. I didn't answer. Silence did. I walked to the door, opened it. Nathan was standing outside, like I knew he would be. He froze when he saw me. "You should come in," I said. He stepped inside, eyes darting. She stood by the table, the paper still in her hand. "What's going on?" he asked. I handed him a second envelope, identical results. His name, 0.00%. She gasped. He turned pale. I stepped back, watched them unravel. "You both lied," I said. Calm, even, but not just to me. She dropped the paper. Nathan's voice cracked. "If she's not mine," I smiled. Cold. She's no one's. They both looked at me, broken, terrified, and I walked out. I watched the sun rise from my car. Light spilled over everything, too bright. The world kept moving. Cars passed. Birds sang. Indifferent, like me. She called 10 times. I didn't answer. Nathan, too. I drove to the preschool, sat in the lot, watched the children play, watched her, my daughter, not by blood, not by name, but still mine, somehow. Or maybe not. Maybe none of it ever was. The truth? It doesn't matter. They lost everything, and I lost the illusion. It was enough. Some people chase closure. I became it.